This is the Barbell Voodoo Podcast with your hosts, Roy Mangrum and Jamie Free.
So at some point, you're going to run out of people to do these with. I'm always happy to be your go-to guy.
That's fine.
Because I can sit and talk about
You can be my
this
Brian
stuff.
Redband.
Yeah.
To my Joe Rogan.
Yeah. What's his name?
Brian Redband. Redband.
I'm trying to think. Brandon Schaub is the one.
Oh my God, he's hilarious.
You think so? He gets on my damn nerves.
He was kept calling himself the Keto Kid the other day because he's on a ketogenic diet.
Nice.
I'm the Keto Kid.
Yeah, Joe's been. Joe had Mark Sisson on.
Yeah, I started
ago.
listening to it.
Yeah, and then Joe immediately kind of got on that diet, but Joe pretty much eats that diet anyway. Joe eats what he kills.
Blueprint, is it? What's
Yeah, it's Mark Sisson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a primal blueprint. You know, a lot of what he says makes a lot of sense, but man, for an athlete, it's tough.
Where's the energy
It's
come
tough to not get enough carbs.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to get enough carbs via broccoli.
Yeah, I'm not
hard
a
part.
nutritional wizard, but that doesn't. You'd think.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're expending, like how much you actually work out, but
yeah.
you would think that you would need way more than what broccoli's going to offer.
Well, I think the primal blueprint makes all the sense in the world for the more sedentary person, or just kind of the average person that's going to go to the office and come home and sit down and watch TV.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for them, but for people like us that are training even rigorously 3 times a week, but for sure people like us that are training 5 and 6 or 10 times a week, man, you got to find another way to get carbs in. You know, like for me, man, white rice has changed my game.
I love some white rice.
I mean, I had about 2 handfuls at breakfast this morning. I have it just under my eggs most days. Just
Yeah, Jamie's been putting me on a plan. So breakfast, I have sweet potatoes. It's a half a cup or 6 ounces at breakfast, and then white rice. I get a half a cup at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Feel better.
I know he likes the starchy ones at breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
And then do those go away in the evening?
Let's see.
Small amount of sweet
It depends
potatoes,
on, I have non-workout days.
Yeah.
And because mine's schedule where most of the time I'm training at 5:30 in the morning, like on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So those days I do, I get more carbs. And then at the evening, on the days that I don't train, it kind of tapers off to not broccoli, but Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'll find out today.
I probably
Going up there at 2:00.
Yeah,
we're going to record a podcast and
get measured and stuff.
And do the stand on the machine that tells you what a loser you are in life.
I don't know about that.
It's funny though. But no, we'll see. My wife, she had been stuck for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just told her, just keep your head down and keep plowing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
It will change, or, just give it time. So she started following a modified version of what he gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, 2 pounds came off the first week she was on it. So that kind of fired her back up because she had kind of,
Yeah.
she's getting a little frustrated, which
Try to get her unmarried to that scale, man. That thing's the devil.
Man, the only way I think I'm going to be able to get her unmarried from the scale is to hide the scale.
Mm-hmm.
I've already moved it once.
That's an option, though.
And she found it.
Yeah. To just get rid of it's always an option. Take it to the gym.
Put it in the trash.
Yeah. All right. So what do we want to cover here today?
What do you want to talk about? We were on a roll and fucking recorder wasn't turned on. Hope it's turned on now.
Are you recording now?
Yes, we are recording now.
Can we cuss?
Yes, there's an explicit button you can click. Thank God for that on iTunes. Every once in a while, I accidentally drop some F-bombs. And
Yeah.
I go back and listen to it and go, whoa, whoa.
Something about being in the gym.
I think you have to talk like that.
Let's see. You had mentioned before about running a successful affiliate.
I think,
it's whatever you want to touch on. Man. Like I said, I can be your Brandon Schaub.
Yes, that, and I put you on the schedule. The business of fitness, I think, is a cool thing to look at because there's I'll talk about this. So we all follow a lot of different pages on Facebook. The CrossFit. CrossFitters of Middle Tennessee and buy here, shop here, all those. Man, it seems like at least twice a month, someone's posted up, hey, my box is closing, I'm selling everything.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean,
Man.
well, here's a post today. So this guy, he posted up, not going to call him out, but you can search the interwebs and find him. He was asking, like, hey, is 3,700 square foot a good size for a gym? I'm spending 20 grand on equipment, hoping for 250 members. What the fuck? Aren't you doing it backwards? Shouldn't it be, I have this many members?
Yeah.
What size should I get to grow for the next
Does he have an existing
12 to 24 months? I don't think he did.
All right, so he's starting out. Okay, so this is
So he's
are you going to
gonna-
introduce me at some point? Or
I guess we should.
Yeah.
So this is one of my coaches, Matt Boyd. We've known each other 3 years now,
Or four.
or 4.
Yeah.
So here's a quick story. So the first time I was going to try CrossFit, I called Matt. He was umpiring a game, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a powerlifter. Want to try CrossFit?" He's like, "Yeah, right, whatever." That's pretty much how it went. And then I started getting my ass kicked on the regular. But that's how we met.
Oh my goodness, I don't remember that, but
I do.
I don't doubt
He's
you
like,
at all.
I'm umpiring a game today. I'll have to call you back.
Oh my goodness. We were in this first commercial space by then, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
you had already. And,
yeah.
my first class was Greg was coaching, and it was me and one other person.
Yeah, that's where we were.
And I got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
I thought I was so broken. When I left, I felt so good walking in, so bad walking out.
Yeah, but man, your story. I mean, when I see people come in that struggle to make themselves walk in the door, and then they come in and struggle, man, I have referred to your story dozens of times because it's definitely inspirational. So, all right, so so the guy that would have posted, he's looking at 3,000 plus square feet and spending 20,000 on equipment, and he hopes for 250 members. That old country saying of piss in one hand, hope in the other, and see which one fills up first.
Yeah.
So he's doing it backwards. So, so he's in trouble already. He's already behind the eight ball because
sounds backwards.
Yeah, because the mentality is completely upside down. The first thing that my first piece of advice to that guy would be is he needs to know his demographic. Now, what I mean there is when you look at affiliates that are closing, almost always the ones that I see, the towns are too small to sustain a viable gym.
Makes sense.
You ultimately, very generally speaking, of course, everywhere across the country, real estate, rent costs something different everywhere, but generally, you're going to lose money until you get to about 40 or 50 members, very generally speaking.
Right.
So he has no members right now, and he's hoping for 250. Well, that's a long, long haul.
Well, and spending, right out of the gate, you got 20 grand in equipment. Do you have 20 grand laying around?
Right.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Most
don't.
financing that 20 grand.
Either that or maybe he does have it. But you've got to know, I'm going to tell you exactly where we started. John Gilson that owns Again Faster, which from what I just saw a week ago is being sold. He's selling the company. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
but
I didn't.
Yeah, and it was John's personal post. We're Facebook friends, which basically makes us best friends. But
That does make you best friends.
But John did a series of YouTube videos, and this is from years ago, and one of them is how to write a CrossFit affiliate business plan.
Okay.
And that's how we started. I just basically followed his model exactly. And basically what it did was it plotted out your first 12 months, and it showed you how to estimate how many members you should add each month, and then how that translated into dollars, and then how that translated into whether you could pay your bills or not.
Right.
And so that's what we started with. Now, before we got into a position to even have bills, we started in the garage. And when we started, it really just started with us working out.
Right.
And then my partner Greg was approached by 3 young ladies that wanted to train at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And so, they paid he and I to train them. And that's really how it started. Well, we were at 15 members working out in the gym, and they're paying us, working out in Greg's garage. And they're paying us this whole time.
15 at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, at 5 a.m.
How did you fit that in? I can't imagine
let me take that back.
15 people in this garage.
Yeah, no, and let me take that back. By the time we got to 15, we had started doing like one nighttime class. So, but we would have, half a dozen at 5 in the morning, and then we would have the rest of them at night. So if you look at it, if they were paying us, and they were paying us about $100, you're $1,500 a month right there, but you're not paying any rent because it's Greg's garage.
Right.
He already had probably $6,000, $7,000 worth of equipment. It was mostly focused on the best value in the gym, which is barbells and bumpers.
Yep. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's what you have to start with. And so that's how we went about it. We still wound up having to borrow a whole bunch of money to get into a commercial
That's
space.
what I was going to ask. Number one, what's that conversation like when you go, all right, it's time to go out of the garage. We got to make this leap.
Yeah.
Here's the wall you're up against.
Yeah. Super, super scary.
Yeah.
Greg and I by profession are firemen. You just don't make a lot of money to be a fireman. And so for us, to be honest with you, for the amount of money that we eventually wound up borrowing to build out a space, to put equipment in, to put flooring in, to do paint, the whole thing, if it had not worked, I can speak for me, I probably would have been bankrupt. I mean, it was such an incredible gamble, but it was something that just had to be done. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even for us, once we were at 15 people, it wasn't even a choice, and it wasn't even about a business. It was just like, man,
serving the community.
This mission we're on has got to happen.
Yeah.
And if it takes us gambling, we got to do it. So for us, it was almost like we were forced from the garage into a commercial space because we were just out of room and we were pissing off the neighbors. And that gets you part way to paying your rent. That got us about halfway to paying the rent on our first space. And that's how we did it, because that's how we knew other folks had done it.
Yeah.
It was kind of the only way we could do it. And it means a lot more when you go to the bank to try to take out a business loan, when you say, hey, here it is, I've got 15 paying members already, and here's a business plan on paper. And again, it was the exact business plan that I got from John Gilson's videos. And it means a lot when you sit down with that decision maker at the bank for them to loan you that money. So yeah, that guy's doing it backwards for sure. And those are exactly the kinds of affiliates that don't survive, because he's trying to do it with all passion. You got to have the passion, but you got to have the business sense. Mm-hmm. That part it's almost as equally as important as the passion for doing it.
Right.
Is you got to have some business acumen. For me, my business background, I sort of earned my stripes and got my experience in the business world on somebody else's dime.
Right.
I didn't really do it risking my own money. I worked for a Fortune 500 company in sales. I had been a general manager for a pretty good-sized family-owned company up in Madison, where I was responsible for all the day-to-day operations. I've had profit and loss experience and all that. So I had a lot of experience in the business world there, and that has definitely helped us survive, because, and unfortunately, like the guy we're talking about here that had the Facebook post, unfortunately, if you don't take care of the business side, you don't have a platform to reach people.
Right.
I mean, that's the bottom line. If
If
it's all about mission, it needs to be all about mission. But if you don't take care of this business piece over here, there's no platform.
Well, and two, it seems like a lot of people are not as much about the mission, but more about the money.
Yeah, and so
You
and
know?
so that's the other side of
Yeah.
that. That's the opposite side where they're focused on how much money can I extract from this pool of people, but those kinds of affiliates don't have this just almost feverish following
Yeah.
that the affiliate that has the right balance is going to have.
Yeah.
You know, for us, if a 6 month or 1 year member leaves our gym, it's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Not from a financial perspective, because to be honest, for where we are, if that person leaves, somebody else is coming.
But you take it personal.
Oh, you do take
Yeah.
it personal, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So for us, it's about I hope on both sides, from the member to us and from us to them, there's a sense of loyalty that we have with each other, because I feel like we've got the right balance. But the gym that's all about extracting rents,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
as Coach Glassman says, if that gym is all about that, then that loyalty is it's not there.
Well, and two, when you as I travel around, I drop in different places. You see the vast differences
Yeah.
between community,
Sure.
right? Combustion's community is big of a part or bigger part than the fitness.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where a
It's-
lot of
it's
people,
huge.
we were talking before we recorded, some people are coming as much for the community aspect of it as they are the fitness is almost a secondary
Yeah,
reason to be a part.
yeah, for sure.
Where I've dropped in places where zero community.
Mm-hmm.
Like people walk in, don't speak,
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
lift, leave, zilch,
and that's it. No
and it's
interaction.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, for sure. So that comes back to a lot of things come back to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we moved into our first commercial space, and this has been 3 plus years ago, when
How
we
many
had
square feet was that?
it was 1,850 square feet.
Okay.
And at one point there were 80 something of us in 1,800 square feet, which that's fun. That's kind of funny, but
It's crowded.
it was crowded. We were really spilling outside, but
I remember that in the summer. There'd
yeah.
be inside and outside.
Yeah, for
At the
sure.
same
Yeah,
time.
inside and outside. But that the reason it was that way was some really good advice that we got early on, which is don't move until you absolutely positively have to.
Yeah.
But you talk about the community side. A lot of that came with Greg and I coaching those new members how to be members.
Yep.
We just wanted to create the kind of gym that we wanted to work out in. And so very early on, those original folks were like, hey, when you see somebody you don't know, just go up and speak to them. Let's just take care of all that social awkwardness, get that out the door, and let's get to know each other.
Because when you're new, number one, everybody around you is way better, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already don't know the movements.
Yep.
Even though you went through an essentials or a beginner's class and everything you went over everything, there's a lot of information to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't study outside,
Yeah.
refresh yourself on movements and stuff like that, you go in, you're like, now what was that again?
Right.
How do I do, So it's awkward and you're uncomfortable and you don't know anybody.
Right.
So it's everything
Yeah.
is up in the air.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that, your seasoned members, I guess you would call them,
Yeah.
pull those new people in.
Right.
Here, let me bring you into the fold.
Absolutely.
And then, that automatically
Yeah.
you kind of relax.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
It is a game changer because you go to a typical gym, there's none of that. Let's be honest. Nobody
There's
makes eye contact.
Well, what's the first thing you do when you go in a commercial gym?
Probably put your earbuds in.
Put your earbuds in.
Right.
My go-to was, even if I didn't have them plugged in my phone, I still had my earbuds in because I didn't want to be bothered.
You don't want anybody to talk to you.
Nope.
Yeah. But that's part of the game changer. And then once the salty veteran members pull in that new person just in a workout, then you get to something I share with folks all the time. There's a reason why when you look at military team members, firemen, police officers, this thing, and I say this all the time because I just believe in it 100%. When you do hard things together, you will come together.
Yes.
Right? And so that leads right into the same thing where the seasoned member brings in the new person. They do this hard workout right beside each other. They're both sweating. They're going through it. All the emotional crap that comes with it for some people. Then you will inevitably come together on some level.
Yeah.
And that social part of it, it's super important. And for us, that carries on outside the gym because, I mean, for us, at least once a quarter and sometimes way more often than that, we're doing something socially
Especially
together.
this time of year.
This time of year, yeah. We're doing something together outside the gym, which makes it even that much more fun.
So one thing I really liked that you guys did, and I don't remember how long ago this was, you'll probably remember, but you set up that private members page on Facebook where, if you're a member of the gym, add you in. And it's not only for informational, but what you see it develop into, hey, this is going on. It's used more than just, a gym events or a gym information page.
Yeah. That to me has been one of the most important things we've done for our community of our gym. It just all the things you said are just spot on. One, it's the easiest way to disseminate the same information to everybody at the same time.
Yeah, not everybody checks an email.
Yeah, exactly. But 95% of our members are on Facebook, so they're in our group. Mm-hmm. And that could be, hey, here's an event coming up. Our next big thing coming up is going to be Memorial Day Murph. Yep. This will be our first year to actually execute the workout twice. We'll be doing it both on Saturday and Monday this year.
I'll only be doing it once.
Yeah. We're all, everybody's going to do it once, but the gym will host it twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Same here, if I get to do it this time. But, last year we were just, even though we're in a new, much bigger space, 4,100 square feet, we still doing it one time, ran out of space, ran out of room.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain.
Which
was awesome.
Which wound up being great. Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It made the run suck less.
Yes.
The second time.
Because it was so much cooler.
It was.
Yeah. But so we're gonna execute it 2 times this year just to get everybody sort of dispersed a little bit, and I don't think that'll take away from the experience
I don't think so.
Doing Murph, whether it's your first time or your 5th time, it's always an experience because of the incredible story behind it. But the Facebook, the closed Facebook page would be something that if I were starting a new affiliate and somebody asked me for advice, would be definitely one of those things I would tell them at some point you need to do this. Mm-hmm. Disseminating information for upcoming events, sharing a video. We have a barbell club that's all Olympic weightlifting that meets 3 times a week. A lot of times I'll post a video about something that maybe we've covered several times in Barbell Club, and that does several things. One, obviously they get to see whatever point I'm trying to make in the video, but then other members who aren't coming to Barbell but should be coming to Barbell, they get to see, hey, some of the things that we're working on. But gosh, it's every day. Yeah. Every day there's communication between somebody
several
on that page.
Times a day.
Yeah. A lot of the time, but it's not overwhelming. It's not us advertising. It's just, hey, we're just keeping everybody in the loop. One of the nice things too is we didn't really anticipate was there's always this disconnect between morning classes and evening classes.
Yep.
And we find that some of those members don't even know each other. And they've been with us like 2 and 3 years.
Yes, that is true.
Or we'll have a social event and they'll introduce themselves and, hey, this person's been with us 3 years, this person 1 year.
Yeah.
But they come at 5:30 in the morning. So that helps to kind of breach that gap a little bit too. But yeah, thanks for saying that because I think that's that closed group has been a really great asset. And then we went on to do the same thing with our staff, where we have
I think that's huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been really, really important for us too.
Because back in the day where it was just a text message or a note.
Yeah.
Of course it was 3 people.
Yeah. It was me, Greg, and yourself. Yeah.
How many is there now? I don't even know.
We're at 8 today.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, of course, we'll be losing Coach JJ this week. So sad about that. But yeah, right now is today. We have 8 of us on the coaching staff. and then we have two
It's
folks.
crazy that you need that many.
Oh yeah.
You'd have never thought that.
Oh, I never
years
could.
ago.
I never could have imagined we'd need that. I never could have imagined that we'd want that. I never could have imagined we would find that many people that really had the ability
Yeah.
to coach or to learn to coach. But here we are. You know, it's but man, this is one of those things like we're living. I don't want to say we're living the dream because nobody's getting rich, and that would be the dream. But
Yeah.
we're at a place with our gym now that I honestly never would have imagined we'd get to. There would have been no way. I just thought we were going to grind along with 25 or 30 or 40 members, and that was kind of what it was going to be. But
Yeah.
it's just not. It hasn't been that way, and we've grown as owners. Greg and I have grown as owners along with the growth of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So where do you see, even 3 years from now, where do you see the
man.
difference?
You know, boy, that's a good question. And we do. We have some long-term planning that we've done. It's tough to know. A couple of things could happen. A couple of pretty big ideas that I'm happy to share. You know, there may be a second combustion location.
That'd be cool.
That could happen.
Yeah.
The more likely scenario, and what I hope could happen, is that we could actually build our own building. You know, the space we're in now is a cool space. It's a good size. Parking is an issue. The problem with renting somewhere is you don't control your own destiny.
Yeah.
You know, so that's sort of the dream, and we've started some of the legwork on looking at how we go about that. So I'd love to see 3 years from now that be the case. You know, 3 years from now, our projected growth would have us over 200 members. There's not a scenario where we could do that in our current space.
No.
So something will have to give yet again on the real estate side. You know, we're on, if you count the garage, was combustion 1.0, 2.0 we've been out of for now like a year and a half. So we're in combustion 3.0 now. We're halfway through the current lease. So, you know, I could see that scenario. I could see one.
It seems like as soon as you moved into this space,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Is looking from my point of view, it's like, all right, how 1 month ago were we even in that other space?
Yeah. Right.
Same class times. Class times didn't change. It's
Yeah.
not like we cut back a class time or anything. It's exact same class times, but all of a sudden, man, there's like 30 people. I remember like the 5 o'clock. It's like, holy cow, there's 23 people.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd that even happen?
Yeah, it's and the thing is that growth was coming, whether we were prepared for it with the real
Yeah.
estate or not.
Just happened.
It was
Just
coming. It just
timing worked
yeah,
out.
just the timing was just right. But again, we sort of held out as long as we could hold out, and then you know, whether it's luck or good decision making, we moved at the right time.
We'll say good decision making.
Yeah, that I'm good with that. I'm always good with that. You know what? You know, but in all seriousness, we've made some good choices. We take our time with
Yes.
deciding what we're going to
Yeah.
do. Looking at the good and the bad, and you know, bouncing it off of even folks from outside of CrossFit. You know, from a business perspective.
Which is wise. I don't think you should. You should always ask people, even outside of your industry,
Yeah.
you know, advice. I do it a lot with the t-shirt
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And those folks are assets. Use all your assets.
Absolutely.
You know.
You know, we're in the process of buying a van, which is it's nerve-wracking for
Sure.
us. That's a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of knee sleeves.
Yeah.
But it's at the point, you know, we're going to events and we're having to take 2 vehicles to haul the stuff.
Right.
You know, gotta.
It's the next step.
It's the next step.
You know, with a business, there's not a lot of just being stagnant in terms of your sales. Let's just call it just call it
Yeah.
sales. If you're stagnant, man, it's and that's not to say every business grows forever. It doesn't work that way either. But for newer businesses, you know,
Yeah.
5 years or less, if there's not growth, man, you're in trouble. You're
Well,
in
and
big trouble
I think if you're not, then someone else is.
for sure.
You know, like let's take Combustion, for an example, if you guys weren't, changing things up and trying to grow, I mean, there's a lot of growth around here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say someone else could be like, oh, these guys ain't trying to grow. These
Yeah.
guys ain't investing any money in themselves.
Right.
I'll open a box here. Or,
Yeah.
which 3 years ago, I'd be like, man, I don't even see how there's a box here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when when I first came to Combustion, I was looking online. I was like, where's a CrossFit affiliate close? What? There's one around the corner.
Yeah. That's just down the
I would have
street.
never thought that.
Yeah.
But, this area, god dang, it is always, this area is growing so fast.
Yeah. It's, we anticipate there to be another gym here eventually.
I think it's inevitable anywhere,
Yeah.
whether it survives or not.
Yeah. So that's the thing for us is, probably 3 years ago, it would have scared me to death.
Yeah.
Today, it doesn't make any difference to me or not. I feel like, not to toot our own horn, but we've built a juggernaut. We've
Yes.
got our coaching it's a next level thing. I mean, it really is, and that's what you have to do. You have to find the best people. You have to find the best coaches, and they got to show up and they got to throw down every
and
time.
Continually
Always
learn.
look
Always
for
learning.
more knowledge.
Yeah.
And then so that's what we've got. So from that perspective, if somebody else did move in, it'd be fine with us. It could actually be good. It could foster, it could make CrossFit more visible here in Spring Hill. It could be good for us, but it's not anything I fear or even really think about anymore these days. We're just always focusing on making what we do better.
It's like you can do. You can't worry about those things, as I say, the things you can't control.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
the ones you can.
Yeah,
And if there's room for improvement, improve.
yeah, for sure.
Just continually work on yourself and your business.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else is going on? Comps. You see any comps? I know there's a lot of gyms around here that, or not around here, but several gyms in our area that do host comps once a year or a couple times a year. Do you guys see anything like that happen?
We have kicked it around more than once. The difficulty for us, I think, the way competitions now, they're all big, is it comes down to just logistics. The parking situation will be tough at our space. We've talked about hosting one and doing it off-site here in Spring Hill. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's going to be for us. We'll wait and see.
CrossFit Nolensville's Autism Throwdown is at a brewery this year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is, I'm super excited.
That might make me go.
I will be there. I was asking him yesterday, I was like, so are we setting up indoors or outdoors? He's like, all vendors are inside.
Inside.
I'm like,
okay.
all right, that's cool.
Air conditioning.
Free beer? What?
Yeah,
What's the deal?
it got pretty warm. It got pretty warm last year.
Yeah.
That's a cool cause. See, and that's the other thing is, we're kind of in the season now, and there are so many gyms now that have established their competitions. CrossFit Talent does a bang up job. I mean, they just
sure do.
Dennis and Tara up there just kill it every time. They do a great job. Corey Akers at Rampage, does he do one or two? He's got
He
the
does
Christmas.
too. So he's got the Christmas Throwdown,
Yeah.
and then he has the scale.
The scaled one,
comp.
which I love.
Oh,
Yeah.
me and him were talking the other day because I didn't have it on our calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him a message. I was like, dude, are you doing that this year? Because that was one of the best comps I
Yeah.
went to last year.
Yeah.
Not like it wasn't the biggest, and it wasn't, but the energy.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we are definitely doing it again this year. So
Yeah.
I think on the Rampage Facebook page, he put up a graphic. I can't remember the date, but it is in June.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got two. Battle of the Barbells has, I think it's just called Battle of the Barbells.
Yeah.
The main event. I think they call it the main event. That comes up this fall, the 2-day comp.
And that's a big comp. So
That's a big comp.
So there's a huge contrast there. So Battle of the Barbells, you can go and you can see guys and gals who have been to the games.
legit games athletes.
Are games athletes. You can see them at that comp. Do they have scaled there?
Yes, they do. They have scaled, RX, and elite.
Yeah. So you're going to see the best of the best at a competition like that versus Rampage's scaled event. But I love that. You know, that's a lot of the competitions now, though. You show up, it's like the average dude who trains 3 days a week or 4 days a week, the reality is he ain't going to be competitive because there's somebody else who is throwing down 6 days a week. It's their life. They're 25 years old.
Yep.
They're just, it's all CrossFit.
They're regional athletes or they're grid athletes, one of the two. And,
And so it's all kind of gone next level now. So I love it that Corey does the scaled. And I know at a lot of those bigger events, they also do scaled versions. But it's still, the atmosphere is a little different.
Well, in his, you have to qualify to be a scaled
I love it, man. See,
it's
perfect.
It's not just, hey, I'm doing scaled, and then you show up and I'm doing butterfly pull-ups.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't, it doesn't
Yeah,
work
by the way,
that
I snatched 185.
Yeah. Power snatch 185.
But you need to get Corey on and talk about that.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a shout.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great comment. And he does a really good job. I'll tell you, man, just talking about affiliates, that's a hotbed over in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of several of the affiliates over there, whether it's, we talked about Battle of Barbells, that's Evan Satterfield owns CrossFit Murfreesboro over there. And is Josie Parsons, is she still his head coach?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
She's still coaching there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They do a great job over there. It's a huge box.
It's a huge place, yep.
Then Jennifer and Chris Haynes at CrossFit Rutherford. Chris is kind of a mentor to me as we were beginning. And, a couple of guys like himself and Jason Daniels down at Old South. If it hadn't been for the advice and help of those guys, combustion probably never happens. And then of course, Corey that we talked about at Rampage. It's just several really good boxes over there. And boy, you talk about competitive. I mean, I don't know what the market's like
it's
over
a hot
there.
Market,
but yeah, but there's several really good gyms over there.
You got to keep your game high over there or you're not in business.
That's tough, man. Yeah. But they've all been around a long time.
They have.
They've all been around a long time. Yeah, I think
Corey last year moved into a huge space.
Another space, yeah.
Nice space.
Yeah.
But he's got the coolest setup too because as far as location goes, I mean, he's got I don't know if you've been in the new space.
I haven't seen it, no.
It's good size. And he has the fenced-in back parking lot, which they use for outdoor work, and then they're right by the green space, the Murfreesboro Greenway, so they do 1 mile runs through the park.
Man, who the fuck wants to run?
I don't know. It's a bunch of garbage. I believe if I showed up. We're running a mile. No, we're not.
No kidding. But you look at those affiliates over there, and to me, man, and I'm like you. When I used to travel a lot, I'd visit other gyms. We have an abundance of good coaching in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's you see that when you travel. You're like, someplace you don't get. I mean, you have moderator's not the word, but maybe a
facilitator.
A facilitator.
They're the flow master.
Because you walk in, and I'm not going to name boxes, but you walk in, they're like, all right, the warm up's on the board.
Yep.
See how there's silence there?
Right, exactly.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So it's the warm-up's on the board.
How inviting.
It's very inviting. And then here's the workout, and they go turn the music on.
Right, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, that's not what you see in a good strength and conditioning facility. That's not what you're going to see.
Tell me I suck or tell me I'm great.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
Give me some kind of feedback.
Let's get into some specifics of each movement.
Yeah.
Let's get into why am I doing this mobility piece. You got to dig into those kinds of things.
Yeah. CrossFit RTR, I think they do an awesome job.
Cool.
I always drop in there. They got the cool ass box.
Yeah.
Not to mention they're in Tuscaloosa.
Right. Roll Tide.
Nothing
baby.
can be better than that.
Yeah.
But they moved into a new space a couple of years ago. I guess it is now.
Yeah.
And man, that space is cool.
I need to get down there.
Oh, I love that space. And they're good. They good people. Number one, they do that whole thing. As soon as you walk in the door, you get mobbed. Everybody wants to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
I remember the first time, second time, the owner's husband was in the class. I didn't know it was the owner's husband. And he pretty much grabbed me. He's like, all right, dude, you want to partner up? I'm like, sure. he introduced himself. Didn't introduce himself as the owner's husband. And I can't remember her name because I'm bad at names. But anyway, yeah, we partnered up, did the strength together. Then at the end, he's like, "So, what'd you think, man? Did you have a good time?" Da, 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 da. He's like, "Yeah, well, my wife owns the box." I'm like, well, it was, it's cool. It's not like, hey, I'm,
Yeah.
try to pull some weight, but he's just a cool guy. And the coaches, man, they went over everything and just coached you up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, when you're paying your fee to drop in, because not all of them are cheap. Some, a lot of them give you the free, but
$20 or $25 or something like that.
$25 if you're especially if you're going to be there 3 or 4 days. Sometimes they'll cut you a deal, but still,
But to get your attention for sure. Yeah. So you want to get coached.
You want that coaching.
Yeah, for sure.
Even a coach needs a coach.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It's you really have to, once you have a functioning, sustainable CrossFit affiliate, it will still boil down to, can you coach your athletes?
Yeah.
Will you and do you coach your athletes?
Anybody can rent a building, buy some equipment.
Yep.
But not everybody can coach.
No.
Not everybody can translate information different ways to different people
Yes.
to get the same outcome.
That's perfectly put.
You know.
And I was thinking about that just this morning. The best coach isn't always the best athlete.
No, absolutely not.
And to me, it can be. To me, it's like if you look at other sports, a lot of times, like in baseball, a lot of times catchers eventually become coaches. And that's because it's a gritty, scrappy position, and that's the kind of guy that plays that position. Well, that same kind of person is the one that winds up being a good coach.
Yeah.
And so I think with what we do, a lot of times it can be that scrappy individual that has gotten the very most out of their own body.
Yeah.
And they've done it through information, through paying attention, through just working a little harder. And that person makes a good coach.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at, let's say, a physically blessed regional level athlete, and I'm not saying they can't be good coaches, because they absolutely can.
Yeah.
But that person who's genetically blessed may not feel the same stimulus that the average stay-at-home mom does, as an example, or that sort of the average person.
Or have the experience where they've had to work through
Yes.
not being able to do ABC.
Exactly.
Where they're like, shit, I can't figure that out. So let me, or I can't do that. Let me see if I can figure out a way to get there.
Yeah.
Where some people are just like, oh, you want me to do a muscle up? Yeah, no problem.
Exactly.
And you see that. You see people first day in the gym, they do a muscle up. You're like, you son of a bitch.
Yes. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So it makes a difference. It does. It does matter. But we continue. Greg and I continue as far as our coaching staff goes. We're always looking for better. We're always looking for more in terms of making our coaches better. That's now a part of our job. That's a part of our job we never could have anticipated, was coaching coaches. Another thing that you never anticipate is, for years, he and I were the two best athletes in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that way anymore.
Yeah.
Once you put that hat on as coach, then it's not that you don't still train. You need to still train. But in terms of any ego and that sort of thing, that shit's got to be gone.
Yeah.
Because now it has to be you before me.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Absolutely.
And I think if all coaches understood that, and I know all of ours do, and we've got a couple of, especially our girls, that are just freaking killer athletes, and then one of our newer coaches, Chris, dynamite athlete, a lot of natural ability, a lot of work ethic, the whole package. But where was I going?
Well, it's I think what you were talking about was, how you guys are actually, and I remember saying this to you at one point. I don't remember how many coaches. May have only had a few less, or maybe one more than me or something. but I was like, you should be focusing on coaching less.
Yeah.
And what I meant was, you guys coaching the coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not so much the masses, but it's kind of, you guys had a lot of experience. I know what you were talking about.
Yeah. So getting away from being an athlete,
Yeah.
transitioning into being a coach.
And that's one thing, I remember, and it took me a minute to pump my own brakes and be like, all right, wait a minute. I know that coaching, or at least for me, with my schedule, coaching pushed me back a little bit, but that's okay because my passion is to teach. Am I going to regionals? Absolutely not. I don't have the drive for that at this point anymore in my life. My goal is when I'm 80, I can kick it on the beach because that's where I'm going to be.
Right. Yeah.
So my mindset is different.
Yeah.
Where shit, I just lost.
Now, see, man, it's something in the air.
Time
yeah,
for a beer.
Yeah, it could be. But when you make that transition, the ego has got to be gone because you have to be for. You got to be for the athlete, and I get super excited when I see them succeed. Whether it's that first pull up, which is one of the groundbreaking,
that's a
huge things, or whether it's we had one of the girls get with a 1 kilo PR on her snatch this past Monday at Barbell Club. I get super excited about that stuff.
Well, you rejoice in more of their accomplishments than your own.
For sure.
Once you're at that point.
I think some of that for me has gotten easier with age.
Absolutely.
As I've gotten,
it gets easier.
As I've gotten older, you start to realize, the ego goes away a lot, I think, as you get a little older, and then you start to realize, the reality is my prime is kind of past, and it's time to sort of just share the knowledge that you gain.
It's kind of a tough transition too, though. For me, it was, I'm only competitive on certain things. If we're bench pressing, I'm still the most competitive son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, I don't want to be beat. And if I get beat, I'm so irritated.
Yeah, but I don't know that anybody's going to compete with you there anyway.
Trey beat me the other day in here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was irritated.
Gosh.
Then I came back, got him on the next exercise.
There you
He's
go.
Like, oh, old man smells blood in the water.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But, he's 25.
Yeah, very good athlete.
Very good athlete. But, yeah, it does, as you get older, I think it does change your ego. I'm not going to say your competitiveness because you're still competitive, but ego-wise, I think that changes. And then definitely you rejoice more in everyone else's accomplishments instead of your own.
For sure.
If I hit, a great squat or a heavy squat and I haven't hit, it may be not a lifetime PR, but a recent PR. I'm okay, I'm excited, but if someone else hits one, I'm way more excited.
Yeah. Yeah. You never would have done that when you were a young guy.
Oh, hell no. I'd have been pissed off if somebody was if I wasn't always chasing the lifetime PR, which was, that's how it was in those days. But, I'm an old man now. Gray hair.
Heck yeah.
Well, what else? Anything else going on? The box?
Man. Lots going on. Always something going on. No, we can wrap up there. We kind of jumped all over the board, but that was fun.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So what's the Greg posted something about the Murph. Hosting it different, or is there something, or are you involved with?
Yeah, so what that is, we registered with the Michael Murphy Foundation.
Okay.
We made a donation to them, and really all we get from that is we can advertise as a official Murph location.
Okay.
Which means if folks have a garage gym, or maybe their gym is closed that day or what have you, that we can be a location that those folks are welcome to come and visit.
Okay.
That's pretty much all that is. Just an opportunity for us to give to the foundation.
Cool. No, that's awesome. It's great. I remember hearing that story the first time I did the Murph. It's fired. That will fire you up. If it don't fire you up, check your pulse.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, so that's it for now. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. I don't even know how long we've been on here.
Probably 40 minutes.
49 minutes. And that's what we just recorded.
Yeah.
We talked for like 20 minutes before we recorded.
Time flies when you're having fun.
All right, thanks, guys. See you next time.